Hey ballers, hit callers, this is Pepper, you're watching Pepper Paintball. Today I'm going to do a little video comparing first strike rounds versus regular paintballs. I got some Empire Heat paintballs and some first strike rounds. And basically I'm going to set up a target. I'm going to post up with my TCR on a mount, so I know my aim's good. I do have a green laser, it's not sighted in, but I can at least use that to know I'm aiming at the same spot, that the marker's in the exact same position every time I fire. And basically what I'm going to do is put a new 12 gram CO2 in my TCR, load it with 6 rounds of regular paintballs, fire them at the target. Then I'm going to reload with a new CO2, 6 round first strikes, and fire them at aimed at the exact same spot on the target. I'm going to do my first round of shooting at a 50-foot target. So I've got my tape line, I measured out 50 feet. Then I'm going to push it to 85 feet, do the same test. And then maybe after that, if I've got any round or any paintballs left, I'll just back up 10 feet at a time and see how far I can go out with those first strikes while still hitting the target. So let's check it out. I'm going to set up a camera right by the target so you can see where they're hitting. My regular paintballs are Empire Heat, they're orange, you'll see the orange splat, and for the first strikes, of course, you'll see the white splat. So first off, we're going to do brand new CO2 in here, load it with 6 shots of regular paintballs, and fire at this board. You will notice my green laser on there. It's not sighted in, but what I'm going to do is make sure the laser's on the exact same spot. I've marked a black spot on here. So when I change rounds and all my aiming, to make sure the laser's on the same spot. That way I know the gun hasn't moved. The marker's being aimed at the same spot, so we can see the real difference between first strikes and regular paintballs. First up, 6 regular paintballs with the new CO2 cartridge. And these will be orange paint. So yeah, 6 shots. These are Empire Heat paintballs I'm using, a regular paintball. You can see a bit of a spread. I'm at 50 feet away exactly. I've used this measure here and I've taped it out for 50 feet. So now I'm going to change the CO2. So we got a new one. It's fresh, even that way. And I'll fire 6 first strike rounds aiming at the exact same spot. We'll see how it goes. So that was 6 shots. You might have heard some more banging. That was just me trying to empty the CO2 there. Right off the bat, you'll notice I don't know if you notice the sound. I'm 50 feet away, and those first strikes were hitting a hell of a lot harder. CO2 out of there. But at 50 feet, the first strikes are a little more accurate. I had basically 2 of the regular paintballs kind of go high and low. You can see one orange one here pretty low. And there was one orange one that hit up here. But you see the first strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure where the 6th one is, but you can see, oh, there it is, 6. So the first strikes are maybe in a 8 to 10 inch grouping. The majority of the orange were in an 8 to 10 inch grouping. But you got the couple oddballs here with the regular paintballs. So next up, we're going to do the same test, and we're going to go up to, I don't know, 75 feet. See how it goes. Shooting at the same target, so kind of keep in mind where this stuff is. Maybe I'll try shooting a little higher up here or something. Yeah, I'll shoot up here so we can see the difference at 75 feet. Alright, so I decided instead of 75, I'd go out to 85 because there's a stump there I can rest on, make sure I'm getting a good shot. Before I started even recording, I did some test shots. I fired 6 regular paintballs at this target, couldn't even hit it. Not without really honing in. Yeah, they have to do some quick shots and hone in on it. They're going all over. Keeping the marker steady in one spot, they're missing. So I got one hit up there and then kept the marker at that spot, and the rest didn't hit. So no point in recording that. Now I'm going to try and hit it with first strikes at 85 feet. We'll see how good the grouping is. So yeah, large grouping. you know, bigger than a torso grouping. But you'll notice there, 85 feet with the first strike rounds, I could hit this. It took me 2 shots to hone in, and then once I was honed in, every other shot landed on the board. Worst case scenario, there's maybe a 24-inch grouping. There's a 24-inch spread. But after 2 shots to realize I was shooting left, keep in mind my sights are off, 2 shots to hone in. Once I got on center target, they're hitting. They might not be center target, but they're hitting. Or with the regular paintballs, 85 feet, I couldn't do that. What I'm going to do now, just continue this kind of test. Obviously, the first strikes are quite a bit better than regular paintballs, quite a bit. You have to consider their expense versus regular paintball, but you can see they're quite a bit more accurate. You can hear by the sound, they're hitting quite a bit harder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up maybe 6 first strikes. I'm going to start at 95 feet. So I just shot at 85. I'm going to step back 10 feet, fire. You know, 1 or 2 rounds honed in, 1 on the board. Basically, I'm going to see how far back I can go and still hit this target without getting ridiculously having to shoot up or something. Those 85-foot shots, I was aiming at the target. I didn't have to adjust height. I was dead straight on target and they're hitting. The only variance I had was side to side because of my sights. They, at 85 feet, are shooting pretty damn straight. I maybe say about a 5% arc on them, at most. You know, maybe not even that far. They're going pretty damn straight. But we'll see. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up 10 feet at a time and see what happens, see how much of an arc we get. So I actually ran out of first strikes. I didn't bring enough with me. But you will see, I went up to 120 feet out there, and they weren't arcing more than they were doing at the 85. Just a slight little arc. Now that I think about it, even when I was doing them at 50, teeny bit of an arc. Out at 120, it was about the same amount of arc. So it's almost a straight shot. Literally, at 120 feet, to be, you know, aiming at a pinpoint, I had to raise the barrel, or let's say my green dot, about 3 inches higher at 120 feet to hit that same spot. That is much of an arc. Side to side, they're dead on. Dead on. But 120 feet, you know, so let's say 50 feet, at 50, 60, maybe 70 feet, with your a red dot or laser or whatever sight, you could have it dead on target and you're going to hit that target. When you get out past 100 feet, 100 to 120, what I tested up to, you're going to have to adjust and raise your barrel slightly. So yeah, first strikes are way the hell more accurate than a regular paintball, but I'm going to do some further tests. I can maybe take this out to a pond or a lake where I can just shoot them and you guys can watch the shots, see how little they arc, and by the splash we'll just see how far out they're going. Forget measuring, I'll just fire them and we see how far out the splash is and, you know, how far a regular paintball goes versus a first strike. Anyways, until part 2, that's Pepper Paintball. Like, comment, and don't forget to check out NES, Nanaimo Action Sports. Cheers, y'all.